What are some key matchups for this?
Well, I don't think we can talk about matchups if we don't talk about TJ Watt versus DeJuan Jones, right? I mean, that is going to be a significant matchup. I really liked Jones coming out of the draft. I thought the Steelers had some real interest in him. They ended up trading up to get Broderick Jones. They could have maybe, sat back and taken DeJuan in the second or third round. I think he's a great prospect, a big dude who does not move like a big dude, but there is maybe not a better test in the entire NFL than facing TJ Watt in his second NFL game. So we're going to find out how ready he is right away. I think that's a big matchup. The second one I see is, without Deontay Johnson, the Cleveland Browns are really going to be able to tailor whatever coverage they want to George Pickens. They can really go as far into the bag of tricks as they want to in terms of bracketing, in terms of double coverage. And this is a secondary that should be feeling pretty good about itself after what they just did to the Cincinnati Bengals. If you go down and look at the stat, I understand it was raining, but look at the stat lines of those Cincinnati wide receivers compared to where they usually are. A goose egg for T. Higgins. That's a pretty good analog for a kind of guy that you would want to cover, like a guy like George Pickens. There's no one else in the Steelers receiving room that should be able to badly hurt them. So the Steelers have to find a way to get George Pickens open, even though he's going to be the focus of what appears to be a pretty good secondary.
Do you think the run game is kind of what you want to hang your hat on and lean on? Again, 10 runs, and I understand it got away from you quick. Is that something you think they try to get going?
Yeah, they absolutely have to. Not only they've got to take some off of Kenny Pickett's plate. He did not have a very good game. Might have been his worst game, just especially until things got out of hand. He was better in the garbage time of that game, but in the first half he was pretty dreadful. And they've got to find a way to take some off his plate and put him in a little bit better position. And he can't be throwing the ball 40 times. That's not a winning recipe for him or for the team. And I think they felt good about their running offense coming into the season. They added Isaac Seumalo, big guard in free agency. I think they're a better run blocking offensive line than they are a pass blocking offensive line. And think they like their running back tandem with Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, able to give them kind of a nice power speed duo. I think we'll see a lot more of that this week, but they have to stay in the game for that to work.
How did the line play, or did it get away that you couldn't even tell how the offensive line held up?
Well, they sort of set out to minimize Nick Bosa and did that. I think he had 2 tackles in 1 hurry. You'll take that against that guy any day of the week. I do think that let them vulnerable to some of the other guys, especially Armstead, kind of coming straight ahead. And that was really what was able to impact Pickett the most. It wasn't that rush coming off the edge. It was the pressure in his face. He didn't see things downfield. It didn't seem like he was reacting to that pressure very well. Like, he took a sack in a situation where a guy with his athleticism probably should not have. He just wasn't feeling that rush right in his face very well. The Browns have a much upgraded interior defensive line. So I think that's probably where, in terms of pass protection, they'll need to be better. They've done okay against Garrett. I think they can probably hold up against him on the edge. One thing to watch, right tackle Chukwuekorfor for in the concussion protocol, although Mike Tomlin has sort of been optimistic about him being able to play this week.